All right. Good morning, dear brothers and sisters. Welcome to our prayer vigil. Today is day 109. And we're going to start our day, as always, to start with offering a bow to our heavenly parents and true parents. All right. 천진 참부모님께 경배. 바로. Now let us do our family pledge. Our family, the owner of Chonilguk, pledges to seek our original homeland and build the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven, the original idea of creation, by centering on true love. 2. Our family, the owner of Chonilguk, pledges to represent and become central to heaven and earth by attending the heavenly parent and true parents. We pledge to perfect the beautiful family way of filial sons and daughters in our family, patriots in our nation, saints in the world, and divine sons and daughters in heaven and on earth by centering on true love. 3. Our family, the owner of Chonilguk, pledges to perfect the 4 great realms of heart, the 3 great kingships, and the realm of the royal family by centering on true love. 4. Our family, the owner of Chonilguk, pledges to build a universal family encompassing heaven and earth, which is the heavenly parent's idea of creation, and perfect the world of freedom, peace, unity, and happiness by centering on true love. 5. Our family, the owner of Chonilguk, pledges to strive every day to advance the unification of the spirit world and the physical world as subject and object partners by centering on true love. 6. Our family, the owner of Chonilguk, pledges to become a family that moves heavenly fortune by embodying the heavenly parent and true parents, and to perfect a family that conveys heaven's blessing to our community by centering on true love. 7. Our family, the owner of Chonilguk, pledges through living for the sake of others to perfect a world based on the culture of heart, which is rooted in the original lineage by centering on true love. 8. Our family, the owner of Chonilguk, pledges, having entered the era of Chonilguk, to achieve the ideal of God and human beings, united in love through absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience, and to perfect the realm of liberation and complete freedom in the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven by centering on true love. All right, thank you so much, everybody, for reciting. So now we're going to go into our opening prayer. So could I please invite Asako-san, could you pray for us to start this morning?
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Let us pray. Good morning, Heavenly Parents and our precious true parents. Thank you for giving new day. We start prayer centering on Chonsingwon. Through Mother, give us a great gift. Now, time to rebirth, reborn for everybody. We want to reach true Mother's heart. We want to unite with true Mother. We want to support true Mother. We are in America. We have a big mission as elders and nation. God so much bless this America. Although different people living together, this is a small world. And also give God's blessing our economy too. We all have everything. We want to work for the all other nation of our brothers and sisters. We want to support true Mother. How much disparate make unity North and South Korea, one nation under the God. We want a breakthrough, overcome 38 parallel centered on true Mother. We want to enter our original homeland. Please give us more strength, and we want more true love to unity every people. we God to give us eternal blessing. How grateful. We want the forgiveness and give a blessing to all other people, and we bring back the people back to God's side. We really offer this morning prayer time. Please guide us this time. We want to invite you to be here and beautiful this day. We ask you to listen to all people, the members' prayer, and please answer to each one of us. We want to go your direction. Thank you for this opportunity. I offer a prayer in my name, Hideshita Asako Matsunaga, Central Blessed Family, Aju.
Aju, thank you so much, Asako-san, for that opening prayer. It was really beautiful. Thank you for praying for us to start this morning. So now we're going to go into our breakout. So let me open them so you can share your gratitude with one another. And we will see you back in 7 minutes. So the room should be open. So please take this time to share with one another. If you're on YouTube, please take this time to also reflect or share with your families as well. Okay, we'll see you back in 7 minutes. right, welcome back, everybody. I hope your sharings were great. Now let us go and share our two public sharings for today. So the first one, could we have actually Ms. Rhonda Schmidt? Could you share your gratitude for this morning?
Good morning, everyone. I was sharing with my group that recently, actually yesterday, I was able to watch a few of the videos that Reverend Dunkley has made to try to explain to us and inspire us about the rebirth workshop and all that he's been trying to share to help us to understand where things are going and how things are going to be different. And one thing that stood out to me about his speeches is his emphasis on teaching chapter 1 of the divine principle and really getting people to understand God's ideal. And then at the same time, I received the email of the Golden Age newsletter. And I don't know how many of you received the Golden Age newsletter. It was begun in Northeast region from the Clifton Church for people who are 60 years old and older. We had a Golden Age club, and you were automatically enrolled when you reached age 60. And it was just like a very loose organization of members, which expanded when they started a newsletter, and everybody's contributing to that newsletter. And it comes out now and again. And if anybody wants to see that, I can email them that, and I can email it to pastors. Anyway, one contributor who always writes in there is Professor Jerry Servito, who is a teacher of unification thought all these years. And the article he wrote was just really touched me deeply, because that's exactly what he was talking about, the meaning of chapter 1 and its connection to unification thought. And so I was really impressed by that article. And anyway, if you have a chance to look at that, that was my gratitude for today.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Schmidt. I do agree with you. Yeah, if you're interested, for everybody, please put your email in the chat, and I would definitely recommend that because we're also in the Northeast, so I know about the article. It's really great, even though I'm not 65 yet, but I know my parents-in-law also subscribe to it. But yes, please go ahead and subscribe to that so you can receive also your inspiration. So thank you so much for sharing with us today. It's nice to see you. All right, so for our next sharing, how about Osama-san? What is your gratitude for this morning?
My gratitude. During our witnessing in campus, we met one brother a little while ago, and his father is white American, and the mother is a Japanese, and he is autism. And I think he talked to his mom because the father is already passed away, and he talked to his mom. He met some strange elderly people in campus. So the mother came to campus with him. Anyhow, he doesn't drive. So he came, they came together, and then we found out she's a tennis coach. And Sumiko-san and myself taking tennis class, and hopefully we try to get into Japanese community, which is very small community, ethnic group, but a small community. And yes, her daughter and my daughter goes to same college. So sometimes, we talk a little bit. And then yesterday she talked about another Japanese people. So maybe once we got more closer, I think we can make more communication in between another Japanese. Sometimes I'm so scared about persecution, but anyhow, God is showing us the way to reach out to other people. That's my gratitude. Thank you.
Andrew. Thank you so much, Ozama-san, for sharing. And thank you for always doing the campus witnessing. I know it's sometimes not easy, but you keep doing it. So thank you so much for doing that. And also for the tennis, maybe I should join your tennis lessons, Anyways, I played tennis a little bit, but I wasn't so good, so I switched basketball. But yes, I hope you're enjoying the tennis lessons, and I hope that it's going well. And for everyone that's witnessing also, thank you so much. I know that, it takes so much of your time also, but thank you for continuing to invest. So let us go into our reading. And for today, I really want to thank Kimura-san for also emceeing, since a few past days we were a little bit busy. Thank you for reading and emceeing for, when we're gone. Okay, so we are on page 201. An enemy becomes a friend. Right. In 1946, the year after the restoration of Korean independence, Father Moon was arrested while evangelizing in North Korea. The police accused him of being a spy for South Korean President Syngman Rhee and locked him in the Daedong detention center in Pyongyang. His captors severely tortured him and threw what they thought was his dead body out onto the snow. His followers found him and in grief began preparing his funeral. Of course, Father Moon did not die. He clung onto life, and with the help of their prayers and herbal medicines, astonishingly, he revived. A year later, Father Moon was arrested again and incarcerated in Hungnam Special Labor Camp under a regime of forced labor at the nearby Hungnam Nitrogen Fertilizer Factory. For 2 years and 8 months, he suffered indescribable hardships. It was an environment in which most prisoners died within 6 months of malnutrition and overwork. As this was taking place, my mother and maternal grandmother also were imprisoned by the communist police for our religious beliefs and practices. They were released after much hardship. I've already recounted our separation from the rest of our family, our escape in 1948 with the help of my uncle, and our arduous journey to the south. Oh, sorry. Okay. Over the subsequent decades, the North Korean government continued to treat us as its enemies. My husband and I had been carrying out victory over communism activities throughout the world. And we revived information that North Korean leader Kim Il-sung wanted to assassinate us. Our members' 7-day public fast and prayer across the street from the United Nations. In 1974, publicized the plight of Japanese women held captive in North Korea. In June 1975, we held the World Rally for Korean Freedom, which brought over 1.2 million people to Yoda Plaza in Seoul to stand strong against communism. With neither fear nor anger, my husband and I prayed ceaselessly for reconciliation between North and South Korea. We were not responsible for the division of the Korean Peninsula, but we took responsibility for its peaceful reunification. We have always felt that ending the conflict on the Korean Peninsula would turn the world toward peace. Hence, after returning from a meeting with Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev, we decided that we would have to meet Chairman Kim Il-sung of North Korea. We set a goal by the end of 1991. For more than 40 years, my husband and I had been unable to return to our hometowns. Through the 1980s, we taught our principles in every corner of the world, but we couldn't go to North Korea, which is only an hour's flight from Seoul. It was the same for all displaced Koreans who had ended up in the South after the Korean War. Nothing can alleviate the longing and anguish that results from the inability to visit one's hometown, especially when it is so near. Nonetheless, the reason my husband and I wanted to go to North Korea was not to visit our hometowns and relatives, even though we missed them deeply. In fact, the experiences we had been through in the North would lead most people never to want to set foot there. The determination we made to go to North Korea seemed an impossible dream. North Korea would not even allow groups of journalists from the West to enter. But we continued our sincere prayers of forgiveness and reconciliation and had our members reach out to North Korea in any possible, believing that God would make a way out of no way. In answer to our prayers in mid-November 1991, while in the United States, a courier brought us a sealed invitation. We opened it in private. Addressed to us personally, it stated that Chairman Kim Il-sung was inviting us to visit North Korea. Without informing our staff of our ultimate destination, we packed our clothes and departed for our church workshop center in Hawaii. Our family and personal staff were curious. It's warm in Hawaii, they said. You're packing winter clothes. Arriving in Hawaii, my husband and I lived at the workshop site and concentrated our minds in prayer. Before setting foot in North Korea, we had to resolve any painful feelings knotted up in our hearts. We had to forgive Kim Il-sung, whose regime had hurt the nation and world, not to mention our extended family and ourselves. If we had thought of him only as our enemy, we could not have forgiven him. Only in the position of his parents, only with the heart of his mother, could I forgive him. To save her son sentenced to death, a mother will even seek to change the laws of her country. That is what the maternal heart is like. With that heart, I pledged to forgive my enemy. I did not pray for our safe return from North Korea. Those were serious hours in which we offered endless prayers. Just as Joshua circled Jericho 7 times, we went around the big island of Hawaii again and again, offering our sincerest commitment to heaven. Only after we had dissolved all the buried pain did my husband and I inform those who needed to know that we were on our way to North Korea. Those around us expressed the natural reactions. You're going to the place that is controlled by our enemy. It's extremely dangerous, completely different from going to Moscow. There is no Western or South Korean embassy there, no protection whatsoever. Whatever the letter said, there's no way Kim Il-sung will allow you to enter unless he's planning to keep you there forever. Though spoken out of concern of our well-being, such words tempted us to dwell on our private feelings and fears. Yet we knew that we had to truly forgive North Korean leader Kim Il-sung and embrace him with unconditional love no matter what the risk. We identified with Jacob offering everything he had, going at the risk of his life to meet with his brother Esau, who intended to kill him. After enduring 21 days of indescribable hardships while maintaining sincere devotion to his brother, who hated him, Jacob gained the heavenly wisdom necessary to win Esau's heart. To change an enemy into a friend is truly impossible without the heart of a sincere parent. A few days later, with our minds clear and hearts resolved in unity, my husband and I, with a small staff, flew to Beijing. As we were sitting in the airport waiting room in Beijing, a North Korean representative appeared and handed us an official invitation. The document carried Pyongyang's official seal. On November 30th, our group headed to North Korea on Chosun Airlines special aircraft, JS-215, sent by Chairman Kim. For our benefit, it flew over my husband's hometown, Cheongju, before landing in Pyongyang. As the plane passed over Pyongan province, where both my husband and I were born, we looked down on the Chongchon River, in which we both had played as children. I felt as if I could reach down and touch its blue ripples. Had the river been flowing peacefully during the sorrowful 4 plus decades since our territory was recklessly torn apart. The chill of cold winter wind we felt as we disembarked at Pyongyang, Sunan Airport, dissipated as we received the embraces of my husband's relatives. Of course, they all were grandmothers and grandfathers. They grabbed hold of our hands and wept. A waterfall of tears surged in my heart, and I'm sure my husband's as well. But I bit my lip and held them back. We had committed ourselves to this venture for the sake of Heavenly Parent and the world, not for the personal happiness of our relatives or ourselves. There would be another trip for that. We assured each other, casting our bread on the waters. We settled in at the Pyonan guest hall, and the next day, in accord with our lifelong tradition, we arose early in the morning and prayed. If there were surveillance cameras in our room, all those prayers crying out for the unification of the Korean peninsula were recorded. That day and the next, we were given a tour of Pyongyang. Our meeting with a group of major North Korean government leaders at the Wonsude Assembly Hall on the third day of our stay has become a legend in North Korea. My husband and I knew that to speak for God and against the government's Jewish ideology in North Korea could be grounds for execution, but we were resolved to risk death for the sake of peace and unification. Let it go on record. Standing in the heart of North Korea, Father Moon denounced Jewish thoughts and the Jewish kingdom. He said loudly and clearly, the unification of North and South Korea cannot come based on Chairman Kim Il-sung's Jewish thought. North Korea and South Korea can be unified peacefully, and Korea can become the nation that can lead the whole world only through the God-centered ideology and headwing thought of unificationism. Furthermore, he refuted their propagandist posture that the Korean War started with the South invading the North. By the end of his speech, Father Moon admonished them, how can you call yourself leaders? You cannot even control your own sex organs. The North Koreans were taken entirely by surprise. Their security personnel were anticipating the signal to rush in with guns drawn, even though they to some degree knew what Father Moon was planning to say. Our members accompanying us broke out in cold sweat. I had toured the whole world with my husband, and we had met the leaders of many nations, but nowhere did we have to maintain courageous determination and serious resolve comparable to that day in Pyongyang. Father Moon's speech went far past the schedule for lunch, and everyone ate at separate tables in dead silence. Many thought that the chances of meeting Chairman Kim just evaporated. My husband said it didn't matter. He had to say what came to say. On the sixth day, Chairman Kim sent 2 helicopters to transport us to Cheongju, Father Moon's hometown. As Chairman Kim had instructed, highway crews had newly paved the little road to my husband's boyhood home, set up dignified tombstones and planted turf at the graves of his parents. They even had painted and decorated the house where Father Moon was born and spread sand on the earthen floor and yard. We visited his parents' tombs and offered flowers. I gazed at the sky in the direction of Anju, my hometown, 18 miles away. Is the old house that embraced me so snugly still standing there? Is corn growing in the backyard field these days? Where is my maternal grandfather's grave? I was curious about everything, but I held it inside. We had come to meet with Chairman Kim Il-sung on behalf of our Heavenly Parent and shape the future of our homeland. We had come for the sake of the nation and the world. I could not entertain my personal feelings in light of that historic summons. I was there so that the day would come when all Koreans and all peoples will be free to visit their hometowns. It was on the 7th day that we finally met Chairman Kim as we entered the chairman's white stone official residence in Majon, Hamyongnam province. He was waiting for us. Without regard to protocol, my husband greeted Chairman Kim as if they were old friends, and Chairman Kim reciprocated and we all took a deep breath as the two joyfully embraced each other. Chairman Kim, seeing me in a traditional Korean dress, politely gave his welcome. So we're going to be stopping there for today. And wow, with this reading, we can again see really the dedication of our true parents to unite North and South Korea. And, you know, it always hurts me, like, you know, at the end of this reading, as mother is saying, you know, she was wondering about her hometown, Hanju, which was only 18 miles away, but she never had the chance to go. And so, you know, I feel that, you know, as she said, she held it inside. It really just truly shows again her motherly heart to be putting her personal side, her personal feelings on the side, and really being able to think about the world first. So it's really admiring the things that our true parents have done so far, and what mother was able to do, thinking about the world before anything else, right? Before anything else. So really, yeah. Anyways, this just brings me to us really understanding, continuing to read this and understand your mother's heart, understand father's heart, and being able to inherit from them. I know that, you know, obviously we all know the divine principle and we all know what true parents have taught us. However, the sacrifice that they've been able to do, you know, this is what we also must be able to inherit. Not just the sacrifice to give everything away, but the sacrifice to love each other despite our you know, our differences. And that's what Father Moon did with Kim Il Sung, right? So really, with our enemies, whoever the enemy is, we must be able to love them, and that's the only way we can overcome. So let us really inherit that kind of heart from Father and Mother Moon. So now we're going to share in our breakouts. I know you have a lot to share, so let me open the breakouts. Let us share what you received from today's reading, and we'll see you back in 7 minutes. If you are on YouTube, please take this time to reflect on our reading for today, or you can share with your family members as well. All right, see you back in 7 minutes. Right. Welcome back, everybody. Sorry, I was having some technical difficulties. Welcome back. Thank you so much for sharing in your breakouts. So, for our first sharing, how about Mr. Bornface? Could you share your reflection for today?
Yeah,
Yes.
I was thinking of True Father when he received an invitation to go to North Korea, and he had a trip to go to the workshop in the very cold, in the very hot places. So Father had packed all the luggages, heavy clothes, heavy jackets, and heavy everything. And I think even the people who were responsible helping Father pack, they were saying, "What's going on with our Messiah? Why is he packing heavy things to go to a very place where it was hard?" They didn't really understand, but Father was a Messiah. So they had let anything for him to decide. So they went and landed. When they landed at the workshop place, it's so hot. But I think one of the security men was thinking, wow, the Messiah packed the heavy things. I don't know what this package is all about. So after the workshop, Father had to tell a few members that he was going to North Korea. They sat down, they tried to stop him from going there, but Father works. Father is engineered by Heavenly Father, is propelled by God's engine. So nobody would say anything. When Father makes a decision, he makes it. So finally, Father flies to North Korea to go and meet Kim Il-sung. By that time, at that time, Kim was one of the Satan's tool, which Satan was using at that time. They had what they call the Junji idea. So the Junji idea was an ideology which denies the existence of God. Once you talk about God, you will surely die easily. And so I think Father sitting in the plane, crossing from Japan, crossing all the way to North Korea, he felt, am I going to go back? But the most comforting thing which Father had was only prayer. So Father finally reached there. To make it worse, Father was given a platform. Once you give a platform for Father, unless you drag him out of the platform, Father will be talking throughout, non-stop. And people were just sitting there. Why is he talking like that? He talked so directly. For the first time in the history of North Korea, nobody really talked such a thing, especially when you're coming from the West. He talks about God and so on. People thought it was the warrant of him being imprisoned in North Korea. So finally, Father went to visit his relatives. Houses were painted, the graves were decorated and so on. Father was like a statesman. So when I looked at Father meeting Kim Il-sung, it was like when Jacob went to his uncle Laban for 21 years. And finally, these people were supposed to meet, but the animosity in their hearts was still there, burning so bad. Esau was thinking, wow, this guy took all my thing, I'm going to kill him, and so on. So he used some diplomacy. He sent his workers, he sent animals, finally he sent his family. And the kids played a very important role in the Jacob's providence. They went and hugged their uncle Esau, and they were saying, oh, you might be sending these kids in front of me to bribe me and so on. But they really played the role to melt the heart of Esau. Finally, Jacob went and bowed to his uncle, to his brother Esau 7 times. And exactly, Father, after he arrived in Korea, it took about 7 days. Finally, he went to meet Kim Il, the president, and everybody was so worried. Even the security were saying, I don't know what they are going to say. But immediately he met him. Father broke the protocol. He went and rushed and hugged Kim Il-jung, and he had no idea what hit him. So he responded with cameras all around. He hugged the father around, and it was like they had forgiven each other. like Jacob and Esau, for the first time, the providence of was established in Jacob's family, but it was in the family level. Father's restoration was based into national, international level. So that kind of a thing was a platform for have developed even when his son took over from his dad when his dad died. And they also met with our own president, church leader, true parent son. They also met with this other president who died, Kim sons. They united, they talk about business and so on. But the foundation based on that was established and so on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Boniface, for sharing with us this morning and really explaining it well with the determination that our true parents had. And, you know, I think the biggest determination was that they trusted God, right? And we've been talking about it with our prayer sermons, right? Really, like, when we trust God and when we're able to pray, that's where even Mother is saying in her book, she says, even though they knew that it was dangerous, but they knew that where there was no way, God will make a way, right? So it's like at certain times where we go through, you know, struggles, and as they were going through this path, all they had to do was trust God, right? And because they trusted God, God was able to protect them. So, and one thing that Mother, or you reminded me as you were sharing, was she said in her book, she says, to change an enemy into a friend, it's impossible without a heart of a sincere parent. So I think our true parents also went there as parents, not just as brother and sister, you know, Koreans, but they really had a heart of a parent, right? So then that's the only way we can love people. If you see this person as like my son, as my daughter, it's very hard to hate them, right? So really parental heart is very important. With being parent or not, it's important to have that kind of heart. All right, so for our next sharing, how about Mama Coco? Do you have your sharing, any reflection for today?
Yeah, thank you so much. My reflection today was about changing the enemy to become with parental hearts. Just I was saying in my group, I was with Mrs. Bowman, Sister Rhonda, and Sister Joy. And then I was saying that my reflection to have a parental heart is something so deep, just because we say it, but in reality, because when you have a parental heart, even sometimes you think you don't have enemy in your heart, but you have enemy who attack you, maybe accuse you, or paranoid history, like what our true parents go, the leading whole world. Even is some people, when they hear just Reverend Moon, they are already mad, they want to attack him, but he didn't do them nothing. So, and then I was thinking just the reality of parental heart is so deep, because you feel pain, and then you have a patience for those people who don't understand until you unite and risking your life for them. Like Mother was saying, that we're risking, but for the sake of peace. They're risking, just this is the qualification of the heart of our true parents. They have patience, this patience in pain all the time. They keep waiting until people will understand. And then they keep their position like parents, keep loving and serving. It's no easy thing, but I think it's something even myself I need to practice. It's not easy, because to be enemy is not really just you fighting, but sometimes you don't know. Something on the side against you not knowing. So when you receive it, where you will put your heart, And then you have to develop this heart of compassion and love and patience. I think even our true parents, when they go, they think always, okay, let's keep going until people will understand, all world will understand. But this parkour is very difficult for them, but they keep it, and they keep this heart of loving always. This just was the comment I make in my group this morning. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mama Coco, for sharing. Yeah, I think it's very important. Anyways, I think there's a lot of even history in Georgia, as we all know, but really the only way to overcome everything is to first embrace God, understanding that God is all of our Father. And I think being a pastor is also, it helps us embrace every single person, no matter where they're coming from, because it's really truly where you get to practice also parental heart. And it's funny because even though physically we're not parents yet, but somehow we're developing that kind of heart just by being with everybody and being the pastor. So thank you. Thank you really for all of you. And I hope we can, taking the words that we're reading every day, it's not just words, it's not just us coming together and reading, but it's really the practice. True parents are the Messiah because they practiced. They didn't just talk about it, but they practiced every single thing they talked about. So if we also want to become, we're meant to be HTM, right? Heavenly Trouble Messiahs. So we also have to practice what our true parents are giving to us. If we don't practice it, then there's no point, right? So I think this is the example that we need to show to our next generation, including myself, like showing the example of practicing the words of our true parents, not just talking about it. So with that, let us go into our song, and then we'll close with our prayer and any kind of announcement we have for today. Okay, we're going to sing the Blessing of Glory for today. I hope I'm sharing my sound. right. Now we're going to start with our 7-minute prayer. Again, please feel free to unmute yourself as we always do, and we're going to be praying for 7 minutes.
Most precious and beloved,
Thank you.
thank you for help us to accomplish your will. Help us to do the things that you and know that we should do. Let us walk the ways
so many
that us
blessings from you.
that our hearts would be much in line with heaven. That's what they would like to see. They cannot with us. You are not only you are doing the work. Please guide us. To accomplish your will. Thank you, Father. Thank behind the backings.
We accept. Desire
どうかお父様、そのようなる方に感謝、お父様感謝、お父様感謝、お父様、本当に私は個人個人における心の体の痛いが、
God's nation, we know
お役
that
に
was
立てます。素敵のお父様、ちゃんと本当に愛し、伝え、
totally
そのスピリット、イエス様が
fire there
を色持つ
for their feet
恩師を愛するその
and spread the word.
私たちの国を本当に立場であることを通して、本当にこの王様が私たちに
Yes,
身をもって示
God
してください。
remembered
天の王様
the moment of the people's heart
表すことのでき
for
る
the
ものとして
Messiah to come on earth.
成長していかなければならない。
God sent it.
4本でアメリカが長期的に私たちのお父様、子供になって私たちは本当にこの特に韓国を支え、そして日本と一つとなりながら韓国、日本、アメリカの巡りのまた敵を持つお父様多くの天皇その人がありがとうお父様お願いします。くださいましたどうかありがとうございます。お父様のその設備を担っていく教師としてどうか成長していく人生どうか今この霊的なお父様のことに関心をのきとうとしあなたを私はその扉を一時もなく全ての関心を持ってイエス様にその間にこの地で私たちが読むその声が
Both the enemies as the parents every shame.
意味が霊界においても大変なことが出されております。どうか私は本当に霊界でしっとなこの地にあなたのその御とあなたの御を建設することができる。私たちが残された一世としての一生の残すことができるように今後が手を目指し教育のシチズンとして不動産大学手の前に出していくというそれから願いしたいとございます。それに時代のお父さん本当にこの信条を超える教えてください。天の保護者そしてまたこの会社を支えてどうかそして頑張って成長していくのでその道とあなたが自分で分かっているしどうするのか私たちは天の保護者のその天の保護者のそのどうか天の御事あなたの部分で私たちがなっていくのでどうか彼の中守れて導いた一人一人のお願い申し上げます。
Safety and health of two mother and two father can walk through our
Thank you so much, everybody, for praying along and yes, and joining us this morning. And yeah, you know, speaking for all the second gens, the greatest thing for us, and just to, you know, maybe this is a secret, or maybe you already know, but the greatest thing for us is truly seeing our parents and seeing our elders, not just, not just seeing their history, but knowing that everything that they're teaching to us, that we're able to see them practice, right? Even though it's hard, I know that. But speaking with a lot of our second generation in, around Georgia, I think we really, in our community, we have to create a community that is able to practice. You know, I think that's one thing that's missing. And this is not just in Georgia, you know, it's a lot of communities. But when we practice, that's when even our next generation are excited. When we don't, even myself, I struggle sometimes when I see, you know, even though even for us, it's harder to practice ourselves. But I think this is what we must create in our community in order for a lot of our young people to come back. They have to see that we're not just talking about it, but practicing it also ourselves, within our families, within our couples, within our relationship with each other as brothers and sisters in our community, right? So, yeah, as I was praying, I could see True Father, you know, in the spirit world, really reaching out to us and seeing that I sacrificed so much, so please don't waste it all, you know. There's so much history and so much foundation already. We have everything we need, so we just have to really practice it truly and deeply. So with that, let me share if there's any kind of announcement. I think we have a few. Actually, today is we have cleaning ministry, I believe. They have an event that is basically cleaning the church today at 10 a.m. it looks like. Yeah, today 10 a.m. and it ends around noon. Yes. So if you wanted to go around the church, we are trying to clean outside as well as, you know, some part of like the you know, like the shed and, you know, everything, so that we can make it, you know, look better and hopefully do like barbecues there as time goes on. But if you're interested, please feel free to join. I know a few people are going there, and so if you're interested to clean or, you know, make our church look nice and things like that, you can join that as well. So if you want to do that, please go ahead and do that. And also we have an event happening. If you can save this is happening on September 30th. But during our ministry team, pastoral team, we wanted to have a workshop where we truly talk about Heavenly Parent as not just a father, but a mother, so that this will be kind of like an opening door to understanding and introducing who True Mother is. So during this time, we'll take some, you know, some content related to what we discussed during the retreat with the leaders. So if you're interested and you want to join, I would truly recommend it to you, so that every single one of our members can join this and attend. If you want, you can take a picture, but we'll also send it by email. So again, this is September 30th. It's going to be a Saturday at 5 p.m. at the church. And last but not least, during our leaders retreat meeting, we actually made a business card and we wanted to share this. So hopefully at the end of September, beginning of October, we hopefully will have a meeting where we've been thinking about having a witnessing meeting where we can invite every single one of our members. And then you know, if you're interested, we can give you, you know, we can send you the design and you can print a business card for those of you who don't have it. And this is important because when you're witnessing or when you're going out there, you don't want to go empty-handed, right? So this will be a way for you to also show, you know, in whatever ministry that you're working in or working with, you can truly be able to represent the church itself. With that, look at that beautiful picture with, you know, True Parents Anniversary or True Father's Ascension. It was truly a beautiful event. And yeah, we'll send that by email as well if you want it. But yeah, Dr. Shill was so inspired seeing that picture, and we're excited, and we're still talking. This is not finalized yet, but we'll still. This is, I think, Mrs. Schmidt brought it up in the beginning, so I wanted to kind of emphasize it. But as you know, Reverend Dunkley has been going around and he's doing the, you know, rebirth workshop, and we've been asking for him to come to Atlanta. So finally we can see a breakthrough. So we really want to ask for prayer. I share this because I'm hoping that every single person can pray about this so that he can come to Atlanta and really so we can have a rebirth workshop here. I think this is really going to revive Atlanta if he came. So this is to say that please put that in your prayer, so that he's able to come to Atlanta as well, to hold a rebirth workshop. With that, I don't think I have any other announcements. If there are anything, as always, we send it by email. If you don't receive it, please let us know, because we're sending a lot of things now. Thank you to Nami, because she came in and just started doing everything, but she's always, trying to send out emails. So if you're not receiving it, let us know so we can start forwarding it to you. Okay, thank you so much, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Have a blessed